Now that I have all my pictures, all my images are in my project, I want to go ahead and select one of those that I want to use as my background image, my background. So I actually want to use this one right here for the sake of this demonstration. I'm going to use this picture that's on the top as my background. So the first thing I need to do is actually make it become a layer that's all the way in the back. So I'm going to grab it. The layer right now it's at the top. I'm going to grab it and pull it down so that it's behind all my other pictures. Now you'll notice that all the other images are on top of that. I can't even see it right now because it's covered by all these other pictures. So as I start to click on these eyeballs, those pictures go away. On each layer I click on these eyeballs and the pictures go away until I get to the one that I really want to work with as my background. This is going to be my background for my project. So what I want to do is transform this image. I'm going to change this image. And the way I do that is I go up to the top here. You should see Photoshop on the top left. If I click on Edit, I'm going to be able to go down this menu and select Free Transform. Now you'll notice that over here, usually when you open these menus up, it'll give you what the keyboard shortcut would be if you wanted to use a keyboard shortcut to open that feature. So that little icon that looks like a butterfly, that means the command key. So that little thing that looks like a butterfly means the command key. So that would be on your keyboard, maybe the Apple key or the command key. Then the letter T is how you open Free Transform. All right, now that I have my Free Transform feature going, what I want to do is make this picture large enough so that it fills my background, so that it becomes the background to my project. Here's what you do not want to do. You do not want to grab the bottom and then stretch it so that you have a real big, tall and skinny image. You never want to do that. If you have a real project, a real job that you're doing for someone and you're using things like logos, for example, and you end up making a logo all tall and skinny or short and fat, the people that hired you are going to be really upset. So the way I want you to resize this image, and by the way, when you do this this transform, you also are able to, if you go to the corners, you'll notice these little arrows turn into like a little curvy arrow, and you can grab it and you can rotate this as well. So that's just another thing that you can do in this transform mode. So what I want to do is make this bigger. I don't want to make it tall and skinny, and I don't want to make it short and fat. I want to hold down my shift key on the keyboard and grab from the corners and pull so that that becomes big enough to cover my background. I can't go any further on this side, so I'm going to grab the top left corner here, hold down the shift key and pull, keep pulling, keep pulling, keep pulling until that becomes big enough to fill my background. Okay? Just go as far as you can until you can get that background filled in. And then when you're done doing as big as you can, you're going to hit the Enter key. You'll notice the little dots will go away. So I ended up with a little line right here at the top. I'm going to use my transform feature again. And in this case, I'm just going to nudge it up just a little bit. So if we're talking about a little bit, it's not going to bother it too much. But you don't want to do a whole lot of distortion to your images. So let's say I'm happy with that. That's going to be my background.